Okay, this is Jim Williams with the Hurricane City Tropical Update for August 18th, 5 p.m. We have done about maybe 50 takes of this Tropical Update video. We're trying to get this done here this afternoon. We have three systems out in the Atlantic. Hurricane Gordon approaching the Azores Islands. We have Tropical Depression Helene moving inland in Mexico. And we have Invest 94L out in the East Atlantic. That's the one everybody wants to know about. I have Jim Leonard here in the studio this afternoon, as well as Derek Sibley. And we decided to go ahead and do an update, and each one of us are going to talk about each system out in the Atlantic. We wrote them each down on a piece of paper and dug into a hat to figure out which one of us is going to handle which system. I will be handling Helene, Derek will be handling Invest 94L, and Jim Leonard's going to start out here talking about Hurricane Gordon approaching the Azores Islands.
Well, it looks like Hurricane Gordon has peaked out. This afternoon is probably a solid Category 2 storm. It's about 105 miles an hour, but looking at the latest satellite picture, it's probably passing its peak right now. I think before it reaches the southern end of the Azores Islands, it'll be down to a tropical storm. And also, those islands will be on the left side of the storm. The strongest winds will be to the south of an eastward moving storm, so you'll probably get no more than about 50 or 60 miles an hour, and it's going to become extratropical weekend fast after that. And this storm came out of a wave that meandered around the Atlantic for the last week or so. So it just didn't pop up all of a sudden. So it's probably going to be a real weak system by the time it gets past the Azores Islands tomorrow morning. But I wouldn't look for more than about 50 miles an hour in the Azores from that storm.
And Jim's laughing really hard right now. We've done so many update videos today. All right, so this is my update now on 94L, and this is when it was just off the or approaching the coast here of Africa just about 3 days ago, here on the 15th of August. And as we forward this into time, you can see here how it kind of weakens a little bit, but then once it comes off the coast, it really starts to get its act together. Especially today, looking a lot better organized, a lot healthy looking here as well. And a lot of the models here, especially the globals, the GFS and ECMWF, were forecasting this to recurve, and they have both shifted off towards the west. And I'll show you the other models that are also shifting on a more westward movement as well. Now the system does have a lot of favorable upper level winds to work with, and warmer sea surface temperatures ahead of it as well. The only thing that maybe inhibit development would be the dry Saharan air to the north that has been giving a lot of these tropical waves problems so far this hurricane season. So we'll wait and see what happens with this as it continues to track further west. Let's take a look at some of the models, and this is from the 18Z runs of the models, and you can see here the models are indicating a more westward motion throughout the forecast period. It could affect the Leeward Islands, maybe the northern Leeward Islands, in about 96 hours or so, and then later in the period, around 120 hours or later, could affect the Greater Antilles Islands, so we'll watch out for that. But the first threat down the road, if it continues moving toward the west, would be the Leeward Islands. So we're going to be watching the system very, very closely, and more updates will be provided as well as the system continues further west and gets closer to land here if it doesn't recurve. So wait and see how the trough pattern plays out along the east coast of the United States. So with that, let's go ahead with Helene with Jim.
Okay, thank you, Derek and Jim, for the updates on those other two systems. Here is a radar from Tampico, Mexico, showing tropical storm Helene, or tropical depression Helene, rather, that's moved west-northwest of Tampico. You can see there's some heavier rains west of the city and some lighter rain moving in off the Gulf of Mexico. But it looks like this system is just being pretty well behaved and moving generally off to the west-northwest, and very little, if any, moisture is going to make it up into Texas. I know they need the rain badly up there, but it looks like this is going to be mainly a Mexico thing. Who knows, maybe it'll drift north a few days down the road while it's inland here, the remnants of it. But basically, as you can see from the visible here, the moisture is all in Mexico and around Mexico. Mexico's had a lot of activity this year. We had Tropical Storm Ernesto come in south of Veracruz here a few days back, and the Yucatan's been affected as well. So it's been so far the year of Mexico being affected, but we have a long way to go. We're going to watch closely Invest 94L out there because that does have ramifications for the Caribbean as well as the United States down the road, so we'll have to watch that closely. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks again to Jim, Leonard, and Derek Sibley. I'll be back with another update myself in a few days on what should be Tropical Storm Isaac developing out in the Atlantic. That's it for now. Thank you again for visiting Hurricane City.